This is Bobkeyscom, where I get my Windows serial numbers and a number of other things. You want to hear about some numbers? Use coupon code TS25 and you won't have to deal with that number. It's going to be $14, around that range. As well, right here, TS25 will take money off of that. We've got Office, you got Windows 10 Pro and Home, and you've got bundles where you can get like Office and Windows all together, so you can get 25% off of all of this. This is only going to be $48 instead of the $66.84 for Office 2019 Professional. So again, head over to Bobkeys.com. Thanks to them for sponsoring. Use coupon code TS25 and get these OEM style prices. You deserve it. Now to our regularly scheduled program. We've got some capture gear to look at. I have two different units in my hand. The small one here is the ClonerAlliance 4K Plus, and this one will allow you to take a 4K 60 Hertz signal, and you can run it in and then run that out to your monitor with no latency. And then over here on this side, we have USB Type-C that's going to go over to your computer. So that's what this one will let you do, but it'll also let you hook up a microphone and mix that into the audio, as well as you have a separate line in and a line out. So all that's on this little unit. And then we have a bigger one that allows us to do some really cool things. I have it hooked up right now. It is the ClonerAlliance Flint D4P. So the big one will let you do pass through with 4K 60, and it'll also let you do 2K at 144 Hertz. So you can just, stream it right to your computer and not have to worry about losing any of your smooth gameplay speed. And then that one will output to your computer and allow you to capture at 1080p 60 FPS. Both of them do the same when it comes to that, but this one does something a little different, and I'm going to show you what it does right now. So as you can see on the screen, we have the Senpai, and that is just the interface right there. Let's get a game going real quick. A little OOT, why not? Please tell me I loaded or saved a state. There we go. So now I'm playing this, and that's going to be what I'm capturing, but check this out. This one can do two channels at the same time. So if I just want to switch over, there's me reaching. Okay, I'm going to give this thing a reach around the entire time. I'll put it there so it's a little easier. So we've got two different channels, as you can see. And the latency is so low. So there's no latency when you plug this up directly to your TV or your monitor and you're using it as a pass-through. But through the USB, the latency is so low that I can play fighting games like Street Fighter and stuff while watching it on Open Broadcaster. You still might need to go in and make sure that there's an audio buffer or anything like that, make sure that their audio is capturing correctly. But I can literally capture and watch the game while I'm playing with very minimal input lag. So when I do stuff, it feels pretty much like I'm watching it on the screen, but you can detect a little slight bit of input lag, but I can still even play, like I said, fighting games without much issue. That's, you're not going to want to play it this way, but check this out. We have some different modes here. If I want to be on the screen too, well, I can be. Got this mode where you do top and bottom. You can do two different game streams at the same time like that, or two different streams. I'm at a really bad angle for all this stuff. The desk is, I'm overwhelmed with how much is on this desk right now. So let's show you what else we can do here. There's one, there's two. You can do side by side. What am I tapped on my controller to make it do this? Bottom, and then we can change the size of the overlay and the position of it. So if I want to be up there, over here, down here, we can move the camera around if you want to, have it wherever you want to have it. Then I can adjust the size some way. You have to be pointing. This is one of my biggest gripes. Is I wish this was not. Didn't have infrared because it's so frustrating. You have to make sure you're facing the direction, so that's annoying. But yeah, you got a swap button. What else do we have here? You have buttons to change which audio source you want to use. You could use audio 1, 2, or the external that you plug in here, like an auxiliary source. You can plug that in and use it as your audio. And you can also control the size of your camera. Like I want this one to be over here. I want it to be tiny. So we have 4 different sizes to choose from there. And then we have audio controls for your main channel, your mic, your line in, and your line out. Now your microphone, when you're using your microphone, let me just swap these around. Now I did some microphone tests that you can hear here. All right, so here it is. The Flint 4K plus a mod mic. Now let's hear that with Zelda going in the background. Zelda. You may need to adjust the volume. Like I might need to come in here to the Senpai settings and adjust the volume of whatever's going through your HDMI, whether it's your console or whatever, if it's going to be too loud for your voice. Because you don't have separate audio channels inside of Open Broadcaster. So that's just the way you're going to have to do it. But it's pretty cool to be able to have a microphone plugged into this as well. That'll be good when you're plugging it up to your various devices.
You know what I mean? Zelda's a little loud. Yep. But hey, microphone, pretty cool. So we have line in, line out, and microphone on this unit.
So with this one, you have very similar features, just, you know, only one HDMI instead of two. And if you're someone who's going to be using, you know, a webcam, not such a big deal. But with this one, you have the ability to capture your console or your gaming device like your Senpai, like I'm doing here, plus capturing a digital SLR or some other HDMI video device that you're using to capture your beautiful mug. So if you're going like all out for the real quality, that's going to help with your stream. If you just need to be able to capture your other gaming device, or if you're running two computers, one for stream. I don't think people do that much anymore, but if you're running a streaming computer separate, this is a really good way to go. And as I've shown, there's like pretty much no latency through USB Type-C. I noticed a visibly slightly a few milliseconds more latency with this one through the USB-C, but with the pass-through, if you're going to your monitor with a pass-through or TV, none. All right, so the little one here, the Plus, is 3.54 inches by 2.48 by 0.55 inches thick. The maximum bit rate is 140 megabits per second, so that's probably going to be plenty for just about anything out there. Supported resolution are all the way up to 4K 60 FPS, and we're talking true 4K 60 FPS. So if you have a camcorder like the Panasonic that I have here that will actually do true, real 4K like 4096, not what they call 4K, but it's not really 4K. It's 2160p basically. So you have true 4K there. Now with the Flint D4P, we have more options. So let's talk about just the hard specs with this one. Again, the same with the HDMI, max of 140 megabits per second. Now this one has two different inputs. And one thing that I'm completely okay with, the first input is the one that allows you to have the very high refresh rate. If you got 1080p, you can do 144 hertz, which is what a lot of people are going to be doing with gaming devices. It'll also do 4K 60. And then the second one maxes out at 4K 30, 1080p 120. So that's what you got there. And then the video capture is always going to be maxed out at 1080p 60 FPS on both of these. The D4P is 5.7 inches by 4.3 by 0.9 and weighs 7.8 ounces. So the latency is about 17 milliseconds. So the Flint D4P has a lot of other options as well. You've got line in, microphone, and you can do external audio if you wanted to mix in your own audio source, and then you can come over here with the remote. That's the main thing you're going to get here extra as well. It's having this remote. You have the ability to move things around and control things, and also select your audio sources, and then control that here with the different volume knobs and stuff like that. You can mute certain channels. So you can do a lot with this remote. Now this also supports streaming to your phone. You can get the ClonerAlliance app and then use your USB Type-C, and it comes with a cable in the box for all that. What comes in the box? Let's talk about that for just a second. For the larger unit, the D4P, you get an HDMI cable, you get a male Type-C to male USB 3 cable that goes to your computer, you get a remote, and you get a quick guide. The smaller unit came with more stuff. You get an HDMI cable, you get USB 3 male to USB C cable, that'll be what you plug up to most of your computers. You get a female USB Type-C connector. You get a USB 3 female to USB Type-C connector. You get a USB 2 female to USB micro B on the go connector, that'll be used for like your phones and stuff. And you also get a USB 2 Type A female to male connector. So they've basically just thrown everything you might possibly need for your phones and computers into the box so that you can plug this up to basically anything. This is all plug and play. It's plug and play on Windows, Mac, Linux, and Android. And one of the main reasons I wanted to do this video before I start focusing on more fun content is I'm going to be sitting at my desk doing like some fun news segments and everything, and it'll be really handy to have some high quality capture devices around, and especially since I'm focusing on having fun, like actually using hardware to have fun. I'll be playing some Senpai games when I'm doing my streams over at Midnight Dojo, and I'll be using probably this one so I can capture both HDMI from my video SLR and then HDMI coming out of the Senpai, so that way I can play it that way. I want to note one thing. The line out that comes out of this that you can I thought maybe I could plug up some headphones or stuff to this. You want to make sure that whatever device you plug into this has volume control, because I plugged it in and it was like 9,000 decibels, and I had to do that thing where you throw your headphones like, oh God, it's so loud, why? So just note that it's going to be less of a deal when it comes to the D4P, because you have the ability to control the volumes here. And that little device is ridiculous. So yeah, if you need me, I'll be here just playing around with some emulators. I'm going to work on modern games as well. I don't really have another computer I want to hook this up with. It's difficult to fit stuff on the desk. I was thinking about putting the laptop up here and running a pass-through, but I'll just do all that in B-roll. And yeah, we can just have some fun that way. Oh, stop slamming into stuff, Link. So yeah, let me know what you think of these two devices. Also, head over to epicpants.com. Grab yourself a Senpai. I've got some instructional videos coming up soon showing you how to install various operating systems, not just for emulators, but also for, you know, like media devices. You can do Kodi pretty easily on this device. So watch for those videos coming up very soon. Let me know what you think in the comments. And while you're on Epic Pants, also grab yourself a t-shirt. And say thanks to ClonerAlliance for making these pretty interesting products. In fact, this might be the most premium capture device that I've seen, and I'm really glad that I have it now. Maybe you'll be glad that you have yours too. Let me know what you think in the comments. One last thing. They're both made out of metal, and they feel extremely solid. Like, if someone breaks into the house, I'll grab this thing and just... and they'll be like... just like that. It's solid. All right, I'll see you in the comments.